Hello everybody, it's Trevor Selescu again, owner of Monster Hobbies in High River, Alberta, Canada. So on May 25th, 2019, we have our Warhammer Age of Sigmar tournament coming up, and we will be playing in the Realm of Fire in Akshui, which will be really cool. So that is May 25th, 2019, 10 a.m., $10 per person. There's going to be $100 worth of Games Workshop prizing, so $50 for first place, $30 for second, and $20 for third. It's going to be a really cool event. There will be 3 battle rounds, bring 1,000-point armies, and have a lot of fun. Alright, so one thing I need to build for the tournament is, of course, these Baleful Realm Gates. Now, I've already built one way back in the past, so this box really only has one left in it. And I need to build another 6 because we have enough for 8 tables. Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So our tables are going to be divided into 4x4 squares and a bunch of other cool things. So without further ado, I want to show you what's in the box of this Baleful Realm Gate and maybe even put one together. Alright, let's go over to the actual bench and come away from here. Welcome to the Mortal Realms. Now we're going to be looking at our Warhammer Age of Sigmar Realm Gate, the Baleful Realm Gate model kit. This is a pretty cool one. I bought this before, a long time ago, and I built one, and I didn't get the second one built. So this is sort of like a half what's in the box. What's in half the box? What's in half? Okay, anyway. So what's cool about this is when you open the Realm Gate, they come in their own plastic protected case. So it's always good. Keeps them from breaking while shipping. They're not just rattling loose in the box. And like I say, my other one is built. It's at the store. And if I can get it out of here. There we go. Clear our stuff out of the way. I will pick that up later or complain to the maid. Okay. Alright. So this is molded in a 2-piece, front and back. And it fits together really nicely. As you can see, you just put a lot of glue on it and stick it together. And whew, you're done that part. Whew, that was labor intensive. Okay, no, but the real labor intensive part is taking your sandpaper and hobby knife, once this is glued together, and scraping down the seam line and all the mold release marks. It's got the 2 dots at the top. And in this bag are the base and the steps and the top of our Baleful Realm Gate. So there's the top there. We'll need to sandpaper this off to get it nice and flat. These are mold buttons. We get a lot of them in model cars. You can actually clear them off with your number 16 hobby blade. You can get hobby knives from the Games Workshop, or I've been building models for a very long time. Look at the little skull there. I've been building models for 35, maybe 40 years by now. So I've got tools from like all the way back to the 80s. Okay, so here's the base. And there's a staircase here. So the staircase goes in here like that. And then, what is this piece again? Gotta remember. Okay. Well, let's see if the... Oh, I know what it is. It's the other platform. So you got your base for your Baleful Realm Gate. Then there's this button here right under the fire. The fire. And then there's a slot here. So this is the auxiliary staircase for the Baleful Realm Gate. It would go like that. Then, oh, there's the button here for this square hole here. I guess I have this the wrong way around. Oh, nope, I had it the right way around. Okay, so maybe I have the stairs the wrong way around. Okay, let's see how this goes here. So, ooh, this is strange. It's not a problem, it's just trying to see how this would be. Interesting, it wants to go this way. Ah, that's what the problem was. Okay, so then stairs here. Platform there. This is what you call the dry fit. And then the top is up here. So in the end, you're getting Baleful Realm Gate like that. And if we can confirm that by looking at the instructions really quickly, ta-da, that's how it goes. So, when you come to play, look for this nicely painted up Baleful Realm Gate. Alright, so I'm going to quickly build this Baleful Realm Gate. So, I'm going to start with this, the steps, top of the Realm Gate thing. I have a number 11 hobby knife. I've got a collection of 3 files. And I got a sandpaper block here. So, the first thing I want to do is I got my piece. I want to get rid of these buttons and things off the bottom because they're mold release buttons and they're not needed. So I'm simply just going to sand this off here as quick as I can, trying to keep my fingerprints on here. Okay, let's see how it's going. See there? I'm starting to get this level here, which is always good. You want your pieces to be nice and level. So I will continue to sand this here and then show you the results. Alright, so here is the part after I sanded it a lot. And as you can see here, I still have one mold mark in there. But I wanted to make sure this was sanded dead flat, as flat as I could. I could always fill that with some green stuff. But here's the actual piece it's going to be clicking into. So, as you can see, or can't see, is that mold mark. So I'm just going to leave this at that level. Now, I'm using a 180, a very worn down 180 grade sandpaper here, which is pretty intense, I must admit. But I could always sand it down a little further just to make it smoother with this 400 grade sandpaper that I have. Now, there's a technique called cross sanding. So you want to sand in one direction and then turn around and sand in the other. This is something I learned when I was doing automotive collision repair. So it gets this surface absolutely dead level. So that's what I've been doing. Okay, so let's move away from sanding here. If you notice along one of these edges here, there is a seam line from the factory. So what you want to do is you take your number 11 hobby blade and just carefully go across. This is a technique called adzing, A-D-Z-I-N-G, I think. And it will remove your seam lines. Now here is a mold release spot from when this was on the parts tree. People at Games Workshop just snapped that off. Okay, I can see the seam line. It's going up along here. So in order to get rid of that, we're going to need some of our hobby files here, which we'll do in a minute. So this is the basic cleanup of the parts. And go along getting rid of that seam line. And how do you know a seam line is gone? Well, you can feel it with your thumb if you go, you know, against the seam line area. Okay, so with that part of the mold This is sort of a rounded shape, so I'm just going to use my half round file and just sort of cross sand, or cross file, I guess in this case, just to get rid of it there. So there, already it feels a lot better. So I will just take the knife and scrape away here and here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do that with all these other pieces. Do it off camera because it'll take forever on this film. Just go around, get rid of the seam lines, sand anything down that needs it, and then we will glue some stuff together. Okay everybody, I just wanted to show you something here. Now here's some more of these mold marks, but they're down in the stairwell, so I wouldn't be able to get them with like a sandpaper block. So this is where I'm using my number 16 hobby knife. Try to get that, keep that in focus. There's a piece of flash here. Flash is plastic that squishes out of the mold at the wrong spots. So what I'm doing is I'm going to just, carefully break that off. Try not to dig with the knife. And then using the knife blade flat to the plastic here, I am cross scraping until that mold mark goes flat. And of course, it can also go like this. And there, it is removed. So I'm going to carry on scraping down and getting these parts ready. Then we'll glue it together. Alright, so I managed to get all the parts cleaned up and ready to go. And if we do a little bit of a dry fit here, we can see how nicely that now fits together. So one thing I've noticed is that the flames come down and they pretty much touch this base. So I'm going to leave the base off as I glue this, and what I'll do is, I'll knock over our Citadel glue. What I'll do here is I'm going to take the Citadel glue and I'm going to put some glue in here. Then I'm going to glue this stair in place. I will glue this, the front and back together, like that. Then I'm going to glue this piece, how it goes, into there. And of course glue the top on, right? And I'm going to leave these as two separate units for now. And then I'm going to paint this up and paint this up so I can get in with the brush everywhere. And then make sure I don't get any paint in here, here, on there, or there. And if I do, I'll scrape it off. And then what I'll do is I'll put glue there, 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 and there. Oh, right. And glue this thing together as a final assembly. And then I will have the Baleful Realm Gate all ready to go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video where I showed you a little bit of the Baleful Realm Gate. And now I'm going to have to make some more, so I'm going to make those out of styrofoam, and that'll be our next video. So don't forget that this tournament is coming up Saturday, May 25th at 10 a.m. at Monster Hobbies. It'll be $10 entry, $100 worth of GW prizing, $50 for first, $30 for second, and $20 for third place. Bring a 1,000-point army, and we will see you there.